Okay, what I'm going to present is another partnership. I have to step up, sorry. It's my first ASEF project, and we managed to involve, because that will be one of the questions, so I will answer. We managed to involve 7 teachers from Asia and Europe, and 81 students that were registered on the platform, but we had impact on more students that were involved in some of the activities. Okay, so the title of the project is Teach, because teach not only for teachers, we will see that, you will understand along the way, for teens actions for change. And where did the idea come from? Last year, I met with some of the teachers who are here now, and I had the chance to pitch an idea that I had 2 years ago, but I couldn't make it come true. And so there was this networking session where teachers were invited to pitch project ideas for collaboration 2018-2019. And this is where I could gather these teachers. So as you can see, we have Bulgaria, Greece, India, 2 schools from India, 2 schools from Portugal, and a school from Vietnam. And these are my fellow partners. The challenge that they accepted to take was to learn about SDGs and in order to address global and local issues and take action for a more sustainable world. So these are the main objectives. So the first idea was exactly to integrate ESD, so Education for Sustainable Development, that you heard about some days ago, and to involve the classes, so to integrate this ESD in the classes that were involved and subjects that also participated, to promote the use of innovative strategies and learner-centered approaches, supported by the use of ICT tools. Another one was to encourage collaborative work among the teachers in our school, but also across Europe and across the world with the Asian schools. And of course to promote Asia-Europe Foundation values based on respecting and value the culture and the language of others through intercultural dialogue and contributing to the 2030 agenda of the sustainable development. So this is what it means for us, Education for Sustainable Development. So it aims to promote the development of the knowledge, the skills, and the understanding values and actions in order to make this world a better place, and to help the students raise awareness that they are capable of doing so. This is the process, how it works. So there are things that you don't see here, but I'm interested about ESD and how it was implemented. So we started with the first phase, which is about learning about SDGs. So students had to learn about United Nations agenda, 2030 agenda, and then they chose one of the objectives, and they studied that objective to present it to their partners at school in the class, and also to their partners. Then they identified global issues they were interested about, and they discussed them in order to also identify local issues, local problems. From there, we were interested in the fact that they would have to discover and what these problems are, and what the causes, what the consequences are, and what they could do. So they conducted in-depth research, and they found inspiration in sites like UNICEF, SDGs, and United Nations web pages, so they could find inspiration, and also from other schools and other partners. Finally, we wanted, this is what is the final product, is to get them involved, to take action, to tackle the problems that they have identified. So this is the teaching approach, and the learning and teaching approach that we managed to implement, and we wanted to implement, which has these principles. So the main principles it is based on is active construction of knowledge. So it's not about the teacher teaching them, it's them learning and teaching each other. And cooperative learning, because there's a lot of project work and group work, and a lot about sharing ideas and helping each other, using each other's talents. Interdisciplinarity, of course, if we think about the 17 goals, there are the three main areas, which can be social, it can be environmental, or it can be about peace. So there are many subjects we can involve. Social interaction, which is important along the way, in the classes, in the group, or also when they were interacting with their partners from other countries. Personal involvement, because it's their choice and it is project work based, they get really involved because they have the responsibility to go forward with a project that they have chosen. They chose their own path of learning, they chose the knowledge that they needed to construct in order to take decisions. Sharing common objectives, because they had to work collaboratively with their partners from Asia and from other European countries, so they had to work together and share common objectives so that they could come up with common products. And finally, it ends with their reflections on the impact of their learning and the impact on of their actions. And now I will show you a short video about the outcomes of the project. It's easier than for me to talk about it. So I would like to run the video, please. If you click on the picture,
so it's in present mode.
Collaboration is always better than technology. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. You can also open it, it's in a folder.
Here we go. Yeah, music. The twinning, and the twin space was the platform that we use for collaboration. These are other tools that we use that you are familiar with.
we can move to the presentation again. Okay, it's just for you to get an idea of some of the actions that were carried out and the process along the way. So what is important is it's students driven. They are the one who chose the problem they wanted to tackle. It is a problem of their community. And together with their partners, they were matched into groups to tackle the same issue in their community. And together they had to think of a plan. Together they had to suggest ideas on campaigns, for example, or other actions they could take in their local communities. And then you had some examples of activities which were the same, but in different schools. So they agreed on having the same activities. Others on the same topic, on the same SDG, they did different things. Okay, so this is just the QR code for you to access the Twin Space. So the Twin Space is the platform that we used for the collaboration. And it is now a kind of portfolio where you can follow all the works of the students and all the whole collaboration. Then, okay, like any project, we need to reflect. So reflection is very important to us. And we did that in 2 moments. The first moment we started with a brainstorming. We used Answer Garden, and we asked students to think about concepts and words related to the impact of the project on their learning. And from that result, we prepared this dot storming, which is a very nice tool for evaluation. Instead of having the regular questionnaires, for students, they like visual, they have to have it visual. So we use the concepts that they shared on the Answer Garden. And so we have just spread in pictures, there are more, of course, impacts. And the one that they really mentioned, because it was a vote, was collaboration. They really liked the idea of being able not to work on their own and alone, but to collaborate with their peers in the classroom, but also with students from other parts of the world. And this is an example. So apart from voting, they would comment. And my students are Portuguese students, for example, so they write it short because I asked them, please, can you write in English so that you can share it with your partners from other countries, but they also did that in Portuguese, but I'm not going to show it to you. So one of the things that they really enjoyed is the fact that they realized that even though they were students, they were at school and they have a very loaded timetable, they are still capable of thinking of solutions to make this world a better place. Impact on the project, on the teachers. It takes an interdisciplinary approach, and it stresses it is stressed on collaborative work. So it's very important for us that teachers start sharing and work together instead of having a teacher who talks about the environment in Portuguese, environment in the English lessons, and again in the history lesson or science lesson. They can work together to tackle different dimensions of the same problem. And improvement of digital competencies and reflective practice. The impact on the school level, which is very important to us, international dimension of education. So now they understand that they are not alone, because we live in a very small town, and it's like the world is very narrow if we don't open up our classroom to the world. We have more collaboration among teachers and students, and now we took a whole ESD school approach. So we started with some classes and some subjects, and now our policy is each class has to choose a topic related to SDG. And so each year has a topic and they have a project, which involves all the teachers of that class. And of course, it implements something which wasn't so familiar, at least not across the world, only among European schools, by including Asia. Impact on the community level, which is very important as well. In some of the activities, parents were involved, parents and companies and friends, which contributed to sensitize the whole community. Stakeholders took part and supported some of the actions and promised also to take action in some issues. And families also have committed to change environment on friendly habits. One of the key benefits of this project is that it opens the students' minds to different worldviews, which in turn raises the desire to find out other ways to make sense of the world and other ways to tackle the problems, the same and common problems. And of course, it is about sustainable development and about collaboratively taking action in order to make this world a better place. Okay, thank you.